All right, everyone, welcome back. It's been a very uneventful day here with some eventful stuff, right? Would you say uneventful with some little events? Uneventful? So somebody commented about my video. He wasn't sure if it was a good video or not. They're all good videos. And I had every intentions of helping the guy who worked on his own car, who put his own catalytic converter on, who thought he just needed a weld. Or typically I don't get involved in stuff like that. Like, you worked on your car and it's a nightmare. I don't usually get involved with that kind of stuff. I kind of like, yeah, that's not for me, dude. Like,
it's more headache.
It's more, and exactly that job was. And someone on here kind of said he wasn't sure if it was a good video or not. It was absolutely a good video. And why was it a good video? Let me just tell you why it was a good video. I'm in business to help people and also make money at the same time. So when someone else is working on their vehicle or some other shop or some other place, that was two people today. One lady came from Philly who had a shop throw every bit of money at her car, and it was no better than when she took it in. That was the first car of the day. I diagnosed her vehicle absolutely for free and gave her 30 minutes of my time that we bill $150 an hour for, right? So what's 30 minutes of $150, Caleb?
75 bucks.
So it's 75 bucks for zero. 30 minutes for me to hear the situation, get logged in at the counter, road test the vehicle, verify their concerns, hit the bay, and check the car out and see who screwed what up. For free. So that was my first one of the day, right? Then I got a second one. I worked on my car. It's not right. I think I just need a weld. And here I go again. All right. Bring the car in, pay Caleb to do his job, pay April to do her job, then pay me to go over it with Caleb, look at the job to see that the garbage part that he purchased from wherever doesn't fit, but he installed it. Now, being that he's not an exhaust pro, he didn't know any better. He thought he would take it to an exhaust pro and they would make it all better. There's no making that all better. Let's start over. Another 30 minutes of my time for free. So I'm $150 in the hole already with two customers. So by me saying yes that I will look at a problem that someone else created is me being the good guy, right? And not charging them for half hours of my time. Will you ever get that back? Some people, when the guy who commented, they don't usually come back. People who or go someplace else and have the cheap guy work on their car, they'll go back and tell the cheap guy what we said, and then the cheap guy will work on it again. And then if he doesn't get it right that time, then he'll wind up coming back to me. But if not, he'll go someplace else saying, you know, the master said that this needs to be redone and here's a quality part. And versus it costing $69 for the part, it costs $500 for the part plus labor and whatever else is going on. So absolutely 100% my goal is to help people and make a profit and be able to pay my bills here. It isn't cheap to keep the lights on here, to keep Caleb here, or Jude, or me, or April, or the electric, or the taxes, and the insurance, and everything else. Somebody has to pay for that. I think some people think that it's just like the charity line sometimes when you go to places. Like, it's not. It costs money to have these guys here. It doesn't cost sand and dirt and, you know, scrap parts. And now here's another. So this is the third guy today. We're just going to finish up this video. So this is the third guy today, and this is the second guy in 1 week that's here. And this ain't the same guy, right? This is a completely different vehicle where the gas tank's falling out and he's got a ratchet strap on it.
I think he's got a good strap on it.
He's got a good strap on? Yeah, he definitely does. So then, did he tell you guys he had a trunk full of used parts?
Yeah. He said he's got his own parts. I said, let's just get it in the shop and assess.
Oh, you didn't even know they were used parts. He said
he said he brought parts.
He brought parts.
So I said,
red flag.
I said, let's just get it in the shop. We'll take a look at it and we'll advise you.
You're doing your job, knowing that anytime that you hear that, it's usually not a good thing.
Yeah.
If I would have known that, I would have just made you go out and look in his trunk, and then I would have just sent him away.
No, I said.
And I'm not being mean. I'm just,
yeah.
I don't. You can't come with a bunch of used parts from different cars and have me try and make an exhaust system out
I
of it.
said, let's get it in the shop. We'll get it up in the
You
air.
did
look at
exact-
the system, and we'll advise from there.
Typically, we would just say, "Now we're not interested in that." But I said, "Okay, here we go. Here's round 3 of me trying to make something work for somebody here today." And I said, "All right, let's bring it up." Caleb's doing his job. April did her job. Caleb did his job, even though it's against what I normally would say. And then Caleb say, "Hey, man, you need to look at this." And I look at it, I'm like, "Okay, you're right."
Well,
This-
I was fully expectant of it being, hey, well, I thought every part was going to be complete garbage, which most of it was.
yeah,
And we were going to be like, hey, sorry, man, we can't use these parts.
yeah.
This is what we recommend.
Yeah, so then I said, all right, well, let's lower it down. Let me see what you have. A bunch of used parts. Cost more time and money to make some of it work. It's just not a good thing. So then we were talking back and forth, giving him my expertise advice of the exhaust systems and Hemis, and saying, hey, dude, I know that you want to try and do the most affordable thing. And I understand that. Like, and I understand this, you know what I mean? I understand what it is. Like, hey, things are short, or there isn't no money, or there is, I don't know, there's some type of money. But here again, I am willing to try and help these people.
I mean, all of us have been in a situation where we
But
need something
our
done
job
right.
is to advise and do the right thing as well, not
Yeah.
just make a problem worse and stand here for hours for $75, and then at the end he spent 4 hours trying to work on his car, and that's it. There's $75 is all I got. We're not doing that. So then in the end, I said you have to live with your decisions that you make after I tell you what we should do to your car, which is one, it's going to be loud the way that you're talking, or the other way is going to not be what you really want based on what I'm telling you because of my experience. Remember, I'm the expert. And then I said, you have to live with your decisions regardless of what we did. He's like, I understand. So I said, okay, as long as you understand, we're going to try and work with some other stuff. So here was the conclusion. And we're not saying anything bad about this.
No.
We took the best parts of what he had, which pack, a Y-pipe. And I said, all right, I'll build custom tailpipes. And then he had some other stuff that wasn't for this truck that had some tips on it that were still reusable. I'm like, okay, I can work with that, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to build you something that works for you and I.
Yeah.
It can't be just one way. It's got to work for both of us
Yeah.
when you're talking about stuff like this.
This was the best compromise. 'Cause
This was the best compromise
there's a little straps,
for the
but-
dollars
Yeah.
that was available. So when people
straps.
say that I have to be more understanding, I'm absolutely 100% understanding.
But we're not into rigging stuff up.
Correct. You are not going to come in here and say my gas tank's falling out and ask me to ratchet strap your shit up. We're not going to
Turd.
do that. Oh boy.
Turd.
So this is what we did, and we're going to make it look nice. It's going to be a little rowdy, and I did explain it to him, but it's not going to be as rowdy as it possibly can. And it's going to be clean. It's going to be done as right as it possibly can for this guy. And I just explained to him, I was like, yeah, we could fix this. He didn't think it was repairable. I said, watch one of my YouTube videos. This is absolutely 100% repairable. The other Dodge Ram was rotted out over here. We fixed that. I understand.
Very common issues.
Yes. And I give every day here. I give more than my mental capacity can actually stand.